So I've decided to do a quarter by quarter predictions for the 2026 World Darts Championship. So as you can see, this is obviously first half of the first quarter. I've gone to Wikipedia and just added each player into the section. Of course, video one will be quarter one, then quarter two, then quarter three, then quarter four, etc., etc. Of course, and then the quarterfinals, semi-final, and final predictions in a separate video. So starting off, Luke Littler against Darius Labanauskas. There's only one winner in it, Luke Littler, of course. I think he beats Darius quite comfortably. Mario van der Bogohad against David Davis. Of course, I'd want the Welshman to get through, but Mario has got that experience. He's got that quality at on the stage, hasn't he? He's used to it. I think he gets past that one. Joe Cullen, Bradley Brooks. Actually, a tough one to predict, I must admit, to be fair. I think Joe Cullen is someone who's definitely not in form. Bradley Brooks is someone who I feel can produce the levels to beat Joe Cullen, but fancy the rock star. Mensah Suljovic, David Cameron. Mensah loves this stage, absolutely loves the World Championships, loves Ali Pali. I really want Mensah to get back to his great form, but don't know if he gets past, well, you'll see it later on, past the next game, but I think he beats David Cameron. Dimitri Damon Heta against Steve Lennon. Got to go the heat. I think 16th seed, obviously he's dropped down the seedings in the last or the rankings in the last month or so, a bit longer than that. I think he has enough against Steve Lennon. Though Raymond van Barneveld, Stefan Belmont. Tough one to call because Belmont has got the quality. We've seen it multiple times, but I've gone with the experience of Raymond van Barneveld. Rob Cross, Cord Decker. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people that put Cord Decker to win that. I've gone Rob Cross. I'm confident Rob Cross will turn up at the World Championships, but who knows? Lost in the first round of the Players' Championships, didn't he? Mervyn King against Ian White. I actually fancy Merv to get the job done, hence why I've put him there as the prediction. Ian White has got quality, don't get me wrong. Ian White was always that player who sort of was in and around it on the TV, was amazing on the floor, was world number one, was seeded number one for the Players' Championships, etc. Would then get to the Players' Championship finals and obviously not lose first or second round. Hasn't really got a good stage game. I think Mervyn King gets the job done in that one. Of course, this is only up until the quarterfinals. I will then do the quarterfinals in a separate video. I'm going to go all the way to who would make the quarterfinals. So, for example, Luke Littler, spoiler, I think will make the quarterfinals, beating Damon Heta in the last 16. But like I said, yeah, basically, I don't want to truly give it away, but that's sort of what happens. Luke Littler against Van der Bogaard. Littler wins for me comfortably. Again, I don't see many problems coming for him until later on in the tournament. I think he finds no harm in beating the Belgian. Joe Cullen, Mensah Suljovic. Again, Joe Cullen hasn't got form on his side, and if Mensah plays really well in that game against David Cameron and Joe struggles against Brooks, Suljovic could easily win that. Damon Heta, Raymond van Barneveld. Gone with Damon Heta. I know he's 16th seed. I know he's dropped down the rankings as of late, but come on, this is Damon Heta. This is the World Championships. We know he's going to turn up no matter what seeding he is. And Rob Cross against Mervyn King. I've gone Rob Cross, but I fancy Merv to cause an upset. Now, I've gone Rob Cross to get through, of course, but if the upset was to happen, I don't think I would be shocked, and I don't think a lot of darts fans would be shocked about Mervyn King beating Rob Cross. But that's just my opinion. Moving on to the next lot of matches then. Luke Littler against Joe Cullen. You've seen there's a spoiler, of course. I've gone Littler to get through. Now, Littler, Joe Cullen, this game's a bit different for me. Yeah, so Littler Cullen, again, I could see a shock, but for me, Luke Littler's got way too much quality. He's got his A game, which I think is better than anyone's, and his B game is better than a lot. So Littler beats Joe Cullen. Damon Heta, Rob Cross. I've gone the heat. Again, Rob Cross this is a type of game where Rob Cross needs to perform, but I feel like these are the type of games where Rob Cross goes missing and then Damon Heta will basically be all over it. So yeah, I've gone for Damon Heta to beat Rob Cross, and then in yellow you can see that I've gone Luke Littler to reach the quarterfinals from this first half of the top quarter. Let's have a look at the second half of quarter one. Second half, Chris Dobie against Zhao Zhenzong. I've gone Chris Dobie. I don't need to say anything else. Andrew Gilding, Cam Crabtree. What I've seen of Cam recently, he is going to be Andrew Gilding. His scoring power is unbelievable. Cam Shazam, and I think he does get the job done. Luke Woodhouse, Boris Kurtzman. Would love Big Bad Boris to win, but Woodhouse for me gets the job done. Martin Luke with Max Top. Saw signs of the old Max Top when he played Getter in Price at the Players Championship last week, or whenever it was. But Martin Lukeman for me. Talking of Getter in Price, I think they beat Adam Gavlas pretty comfortably in that one. I don't think Gezi has too many problems in getting that job done. Lucas Vennig, Wesley Placier, 50-50 this one. Really is a 50-50 one for me. I went Placier just because I think he's got a better B game than what Vennig has. Ryan Joyce, Owen Bates, would love Owen Bates to win for obvious reasons, but I think Ryan Joyce is way too good. Relentless. Christopher Tysky against Alexis Toido. God forbid whoever's marking that. I've gone for the Post Eagle. Chris Dobie, Cam Crabtree. I've gone with Dobie to get the job done again. Don't see too many problems for Dobie. I think he sees it out. I think Cam gets a set, but don't think any more than that. Luke Woodhouse, Martin Lukeman. Again, fancy Luke Woodhouse to get the job done quite comfortably to set up that game with Dobie. Get a win Price, Wesley Placier. I don't think this is where Gezi will turn up in the tournament. Early rounds, get the real performances going. Ryan Joyce, I think, beats Christoph Ratajski. The 180 scoring of Ryan Joyce and the high scoring will get him over the line. Luke Woodhouse against Chris Dobie. Fancy Hollywood. I don't think he has much problems against Woodhouse in my opinion, but again, could go either way that one. Get a win Price, Ryan Joyce. Again, this is the tournament where I think Gezi turns up. This is where I think he goes really deep. In this tournament, I think he beats Ryan Joyce comfortably. And then Chris Dobie against Getter and Price. I'm going to go Gezi Price. I can't not go Gezi Price. I think scoring is better, finishing is better. And that is quarter one. Let me know your thoughts down below, of course, in the comment section. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video for quarter number 2. Thanks for watching.